Hey, what's going on? So I just wanted to introduce a new training tool for perfect pitch training that's based off of this research paper. And um, yeah, I'll have a link to this research paper in the description, but I just wanted to point out in here, they gave explicit instructions basically on how they ran some of the training that they did. So you can go ahead and read that for yourself, but between me and Claude Sonnet, we coded a web app over the last couple days through many iterations, um, as you can see, that does this. And there's two other programs, and I'm trying to implement this second one, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but right now the program only does one octave. And so I think a real challenge will come in the form of multiple octaves. So it was really cool because I just pretty much just gave this paragraph to the AI and said, hey, I want this program, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use local audio files. I made, where's that? I made all the audio files myself and then said, hey, let's just point to these and let's play one. Right? So just point to these and that's what we'll use. And it was going really smoothly for like the first day. I pretty much like have it to a point like where it is now. And then I spent like, I don't know, probably like 5 hours or so trying to get it to implement like the multiple octaves. And I don't know anything about JavaScript coding or anything like that really. So I'm kind of at a loss, but every time it tries to implement it, it just keeps breaking it. So I'll also have the GitHub link in the description as well. If anyone wants to give a crack at it, I'd like to have octave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And right now I want to do 3 instruments: guitar, piano, and saxophone. And I can make all of those individual audio files for all 12 notes, for all of those different octaves, for all of those instruments. That's not a problem for me to do. I just need to figure out how to implement them into the app. So um, I'll show you what the app is, what it does. But if anyone wants to have a crack at it, you're more than welcome to. And you can just message me or whatever, and I'll get you the rest of the audio files. Um, but you should have a pretty decent starting point though, because I do have on the piano side, I have 2 octaves, octave 3 and 4 for the piano, but it can find all the octave 3 sounds, but it can't find the octave 4 sounds. So there's an extra octave for you to mess around to try and get it to see those different octaves. But either way, I think it works well for what it is right now. So let's get into it. So when you load this up, actually, let me restart it. I guess first of all, let me talk about the installation of it. So when you get it off GitHub, I'm not going to host this on a web server. So you'll just have to run it locally. It's a very small program. The main bulk of it is just the audio sounds. It's about 20 megabytes of audio sounds, but that doesn't matter. And you'll download the zip file, extract it, and then you'll just double click on this HTML file here. And I'll clean this up before I put it as like a release. Actually, no, I won't, because this does have the implementation that the AI tried to do for the octave thing, but it's broken. It like if I try and do it, it just is stuck on loading audio files, and where's the console? And nothing happens in the console. But if I do the actual one, you see it loads all the audio files. So something is breaking it. I don't know what it's doing to make it break, but maybe that might help you debug. I'm not sure. Anyway, all you should have to do, keep the same folder structure. All you should have to do is just double click this. It will load the piano and the guitar, 24 audio files, 12 each. And then you can select which instrument you want to do. For this, I'll go through both, but for right now, I'll do the piano, and then it has these different modes. So the first mode, this is what they did in the study. They only had C major scale or the natural tones for the white keys. So I implemented that first. And so you click on this, and then right now with this toggle here at the top, it does a fixed order. It does C, C sharp, D, D sharp, B, E, excuse me, F, all the way up in order. And then it's going to play the note, and then it's going to start randomly playing notes of 16 notes. And then you press the spacebar every time you hear the target note. So it starts with the target note, then it's going to run a string of 16 tones, all from the C major scale. And then randomly interspersed in there is going to be the target tone. So right now, I'll show you. It's going to start with C, and then I'll just kind of show you how it does. So there's C. Right? So, sorry, I'm interrupting it. So there is no stop button, so you just have to refresh the page. But then if I do here and I do randomize, it'll start with a different note. So now it's going to start with G. And you can load this up on your phone too. If you get it wrong, nothing happens. It just has this red thing here. So anyway, let me show you if you go to the chromatic one, it's going to be all 12 tones rather than playing random tones throughout the C major scale. It'll pick all of them, all the accidentals and everything. This is the mode that I've been using, and my accuracy is very high, but even just a little bit of using this, I think that it really helps you keep the tone in your mind for longer. So like even if you have like a 98% accuracy as you're going through this, continue to do it every day, at least once a day. It takes less than 10 minutes to get through this version of it, which is right at this first phase or whatever is the most comprehensive way to train. So it's really quick. It's fairly entertaining, I suppose. And there's some feedback here, but you'll most likely have some really high accuracy, especially if you've been doing some pitch training in the past or whatever. But I figured this didn't exist yet, and it only existed in this this study where they proved that hey, some people can get absolute pitch. So I figured it's probably a good training tool. And so far, I've only used it for a day, really, just a little bit when I was making it, but I did it I think twice yesterday, and I honestly feel like if I try and focus on holding a note in my head, I can hold it there for longer than I could a day ago. And I honestly do think that is solely because of this. There's some other things we could implement in the future, like instead of 16 notes, hey, we make it a string of 32 notes a piece, and then that's just that much longer that you have to remember the target note. So I'll just run through this just to show you that it pulls from the accidentals. They tried to do me dirty. So as you can tell, there was a half step that was the D, and then it went into the D sharp. So it does get a little tricky. So I like that version a lot. You can do it with the guitar. I think I have some really good high quality guitar sound. Excuse me. Think I have some good high quality guitar tones on here, so I think it should be pretty good. Like I said, I cannot get multi octaves to work yet. Hopefully we can at some point. But then this one I'm pretty excited about, and this especially with multi octaves will be very good. It needs a little bit of cleaning up, but because right now it's what it is it's using the piano and the guitar, and how do I explain this? It does the same thing, but it randomly picks the instrument for each note. But it doesn't matter what instrument is being played. If it plays the target note, you can press the space bar. It'll count as like the correct hit or whatever. Um, multi timbre, multi octave training, I think, is like where you're gonna make your most money. Um, Practicing the different pitches like this. I'll just give you an example, but sorry to go back. It needs some refinement, but I'm like afraid to tweak anything in the app right now because everything I've tried recently has just broken it. So I've just left it how it is right now, but it's just going to duplicate every note. So it's going to, because there's 12 tones for the piano, 12 tones for the guitar, even though they're the same, it's treating them as different, I guess. So it's going to go, if you play it in the fixed order, I'm pretty sure it goes C, C, C sharp, C sharp, D, D, you know what I mean? And then after it gets through all 12, or in this case 24, it will loop that same um, randomized order, or that same order again. So same thing for the randomized. It will go through 24, just duplicating, for the piano and the guitar, and then it will have that same randomized order a second time, and that's all prescribed in this research paper here. But it gets pretty challenging, so I'll just try one, and you can kind of see. And I think the audio might need a little bit of an overhaul as I'm making this to make the volumes consistent between the instruments, but I think right now it's decent, but it could be better, I think. Nice. So that was a really, really good example. It played the target note from both instruments and they both counted. So I think that one is like really, really good. And like you can imagine having 3 different instruments over 4 octaves. I mean, it would just go wild. It would go insane. And I think it'd just be a really, really good tool. So I know this one is only 1 octave. I think this one down here, they go into the multiple octaves. Only 2 octaves, but I mean, it'd be great to go even more so. But yeah, getting that to work, this would be a pretty comprehensive pitch training tool based off this research. So I'll try and continue to update it, but I just wanted to get it out there to give people the chance to use it. But yeah, let me know what you think. And if you want to take a crack at it, like I said, the GitHub is in the description, and you can go ahead and shoot me a message or whatever, and just let me know. All right, peace.